Hey Instagram, so I just finished my practice and there was a little bit physical struggle bus this morning, but it's all good. It's just part of practice. So I know that today's Martin Luther King Day, and obviously this is a human being who has inspired everyone who is able to be inspired. And he's a historical figure that I find very inspiring. And sometimes I feel like in today's world, we're sort of lacking for heroes. We have a lot of famous people, but the real heroes that represent archetypal qualities and values that, like, children can look up to, I think are fewer and farther between. And I was thinking about MLK, and one thing that I find just incredibly inspiring about MLK is the way that he just was able to turn the other cheek and remain committed to his path and his goal, but also to be so peaceful in the face of such incredible hatred and discrimination. And so, in honor of that, and those are things I can speak about, but I almost can't even empathize because, I've never gone through anything so extreme like that in my life. But in honor of MLK, I decided just a spur of the moment after my practice that I want to record a meditation for you guys that has helped me to transcend feelings of anger and frustration when they arise in me due to circumstances outside of my control or behavior of people that are not me, that I cannot control. So here we go. Let's give it a try. And I'm a little nervous about this for some reason. This is something very personal, but I'm going to share it with you guys because Dr. King I just want his vibe to live on, So here we go. So first, sit in whatever position you're most comfortable for meditation, knowing that whatever's most comfortable may not be what's most functional. So I encourage you to elevate your butt so that your perineum is on the floor and your sitting bones are behind you. So think that there are like two little back bends in your meditation. One is just the fold at your hips, which is like your butt going back. And then the other one is like if you just take your chin and move it back a little bit like that, that'll put your upper spine in just a little bit of extension, which really will just give you the feeling of a straight spine. And it might be a little bit of work to sit like this, but that's okay. You can also sit at the edge of a chair. All right, close your eyes. And breathe in and out through your nose. Breathe without over-controlling your breath. Allow the natural movement and flow of breath in and out through your nose. And see if you can experience the next breath cycle from the very beginning of the inhalation through to the very end of the exhalation. And the breath is a great tool through which to hone your focus. And ultimately, the breath becomes just one other appearance in consciousness, but it's a great way to get present. Check in with where you feel your breath the most right now. Is it at your nostrils, maybe your belly or your face? And bring your attention to where you feel your breath the most. Pick that area and stick with it. Without changing or adjusting your breath, experience the full inhalation and the full exhalation, and then just do it again. If you find yourself lost in thought, acknowledge the thought, see it, and watch what happens to it when you call it out as a thought, and return to focusing on your breathing. Now, think of something that irritates you, a frustration that you have, or something that someone did to you that made you feel not so good. And be very clear about the experience that you've selected, and allow yourself to feel the sensation or emotion that arises in connection with that experience. Feel the visceral sensation and see if you can continue to feel it without giving it a name. Maybe you feel it a lot in one part of your body. Go with that. Let it direct your attention. And continue to allow yourself to feel the not so pleasant feeling. Don't try to change it. Stay with your breathing. And just keep feeling this feeling, this not so pleasant feeling of when you were hurt or embarrassed or undervalued, whatever it is that you selected. It's okay to allow yourself to feel this thing, because maybe you can have a glimpse. Watch your breath in and out and feel your feeling. Maybe you can have a glimpse that the feeling that you're having is no different than your breath arising and falling away. It's an appearance in your consciousness. Do you hear any sounds in the room where you are right now? Do you see how you had no more choice about hearing that sound as you did with feeling the feeling? It just arose after I directed you to select an experience. If your mind starts to travel elsewhere, acknowledge that it's happening. And sometimes I find it very useful just to say, not right now. Stick with your feeling. And isn't it interesting how when you choose to allow yourself to feel the sensation, somehow it doesn't create the same level of irritation. Bring your awareness now to your belly and let your belly go. And feel what that feels like. And now feel your back, your middle upper back. Just what does it feel like? No judgment, just what do you feel there? And then your hands in your lap or on your knees. And feel all of these different bodily sensations as a constellation of sensation throughout your body. like little points of star. And feel the similarity in the physical sensation you have and the not so pleasant feeling that you had in connection to the experience that you selected. And pay attention to your next breath on inhale, all the way through the end of the exhale. And now visualize the room in which you're sitting. That's your imagination. And in this moment, acknowledge that your imaginary picture of the room in which you're sitting and your breath and the feelings in your body and the sensation that you had in connection to the negative experience that you selected are all appearances in consciousness. And now think of MLK. And ask yourself, in light of knowing what that man had to do in his life, could you or I maybe experience some irritation as an aspect of consciousness and choose not to react, maybe just one time this week?